Hello, today we are going to make this 1/12 scale miniature dollhouse, which would be a great addition to your children's room scene. And before we start, prepare the following materials. When you have all the materials prepared, cut the following pieces for the base of the house. Before we start gluing the base of the house, let's start making the door opening for the partition. Take your wood number 4, X-Acto knife and ruler. Measure where you want the door opening to be. It can be in the middle or on the sides. In my case, I opt for the sides, and I made a 15mm tall and 7mm wide door opening. After doing this, set the partitions aside. Take wood number 2 and apply glue on the sides. And then glue the wood on wood number 1 on the inner edge and not on the outer edge. And after that, let it dry. Next, get your ruler and pencil and find the center of your wood number 1. Make a line and use this line as a guide. Take wood number 3 and apply glue on the sides that will be touching the other wood. Using the line as a guide, glue wood number 3 on top of the line and then let the glue dry. Take your ruler and pencil and divide the two sides into 6 rooms. You also have the option to just make 4 rooms in total and then glue all the partitions. After the glue is dry, apply glue to the remaining wood number 3 and then glue them on the top and also on the bottom of the house. And to complete the body of the house, glue the remaining wood number 2. Next, sand the edges and make sure that all sides are smooth and even. Next, you have an option to prime the inside before continuing working. I chose to prime it first because it is much easier and I don't have to worry about it later. Before proceeding, cut the following materials for the gutter and also for the front cover. Take the 3 pieces wood strips and then glue them in front and on the sides of the house. This will be the roof gutter. So before making the roof, measure it from the inner edge of the gutter to the other end of the inner edge of the gutter. So I hope you understand what I mean, but you can see it on the video where I am exactly measuring it. Draw this measurement on a piece of paper, and we are going to use this as a template. And then you can decide how tall you want your roof to be. And as you can see, I made one side slightly slanted and kept the other side straight. That's because I didn't have the right measuring tool to keep the sides even. And then get your scissors and cut the template. Fold into half and then cut the side following the slanted line. And then use this template to trace on a 2 mm thick craft wood. Make 2 of them, cut, and sand the wood. Now take one of the roof and sand the tip of the roof in a slanted position to create a beveled edge. This will give our roof a clean and pointy tip when they are glued together. And then glue the 2 pieces together and let the glue dry. Here's a shortcut to what I did to the side of the roof. It's because I am so bad with measuring complicated items, so I decided to just trace the side on a piece of paper and then made a template out of it. I then traced the template on a 2 mm thick craft wood and then cut and sanded all sides. And then I applied glue on the sides of the triangle and then glue them in the inner side of the roof. So just to make it clear, it's in the inner side of the roof and not the outer side. And with this, it will fit perfectly like a jigsaw puzzle. And then again, sand the whole piece and then make sure that the edges are even and smooth. And then finally, add glue to the roof and attach it to the body. You have 2 options to make the front cover. You can either use a 1.5 mm craft wood and then manually cut it using an X-Acto knife, or use a cardstock and let the machine do the cutting. Well, I obviously used the latter. If you need the SVG file for the front cover, go to the description box below and you will have the link there where you can download the file for free. If in any case you don't have a cutting machine, go ahead and use the first method. I have to be honest here, the manual cutting was a lot of work. It needs precision and patience. And I already made 2 with a disastrous result, and then the third one I managed to go as far as I could. But then at the very end, I just decided to just switch to the cutting machine. So here I just made some markings to make sure the windows and door are in the right place. I hope you get the idea on how to make the front cover because I will have to cut this part short. Sorry about that. So yes, that's how you do the manual cutting, and let's move on and see what I did next to the dollhouse. I wanted to have a functional front cover that can open and close, so I tried using a handmade hinges, but it didn't work. So instead, I made a sliding front cover by simply adding a piece of craft wood under the house as the base, and then adding a thin strip wood in front where the front cover can slide through. Hope you can see it clearly where the front cover should go. And here it is. I am satisfied with how it turned out, and it was easier to make than the hinges. And lastly, I added some paint and some plants on the side, but if you like, you can also add some decoration in front of the house. It's up to you. Use your imagination and your creativity. Thank you for watching this tutorial. Have fun on your project, and don't forget to click on subscribe and get notified for new videos. Bye bye and see you next Saturday.